Here's example 3 with integration by parts. So evaluate the integral of x to the 7th times the natural log of x dx. So integration by parts, we want to choose u. Okay. So again, we're going to use this Liate rule. So choose u to be the first type of function that appears on this list if we start at the top and go down. So what do we have here? X to the 7th, that's an algebraic function. And natural log of x, that's a logarithmic function. So we're going to let u be the natural log of x, okay? Because that's logarithmic functions appear higher on this list, so we want to let u be that. Okay. So first, what I want to do is rewrite this though as integral of natural log of x times x to the 7th dx. Okay. Why do I want to do it like that? Because it's going to be easier. So we're going to say u. So if we choose u to be natural log of x, okay, then what I can say is that here's our u. And then remember, once we choose u, dv is everything that's left. So this here is dv. Okay. dv is everything that's left, including the dx. So that's why I rewrote it like this, because it's easier to point out what dv is. Because dv is x to the 7th dx. So that's the only reason I switched these guys around. So that's natural log of x times x to the 7th. Okay. Like that. Okay, so u is the natural log of x, so dv is everything that's left over, which is x to the 7th dx. Okay, and now since u is the natural log of x, then du is 1 over x dx. Okay. And since dv is x to the 7th dx, then we integrate that to get v. So if you integrate x to the 7th dx, you get 1/8 x to the 8th. And remember, no arbitrary constant for an integration by parts. That was explained in an earlier video. So anyway, here's u, here's v, du, and dv. So let's go ahead and plug these into the formula now. So the integral of x to the 7th times the natural log of x dx equals, so it's uv, okay? So u is the natural log of x, v is 1/8 x to the 8th, and then minus the integral of v du. Okay, v again is 1/8 x to the 8th, and then du is 1 over x dx. Okay, so just applying the formula here, so we have uv minus the integral of v du. Okay, so du is 1 over x dx. Okay, so that's it then. Now we just want to evaluate and simplify here. So this is, we can rewrite this as 1/8 x to the 8th times the natural log of x. Okay, so it's just more customary to write it like that. So then here, what do we have? So let's pull out the 1/8, just a constant multiple, so we can pull it out of the integral. So 1/8 times the integral of what? Well, what do we have left? So we pulled out the 1/8, so we have x to the 8th times 1 over x, so that's x to the 8th divided by x, which really means x to the 7th, and then dx, okay? Okay, so then what's left? So this is still just the same thing here, 1/8 x to the 8th times the natural log of x, and then minus 1/8 times, so what happens here, if we integrate x to the 7th, then we get 1/8 x to the 8th, and then there's a plus c. Okay. So yeah, technically this 1/8 out here is being multiplied by this entire thing, but it doesn't matter because if we distribute, then it's just going to be 1/8 times an arbitrary constant. But if you take an arbitrary constant and multiply it by an 1/8, what do you have? Just another arbitrary constant. So we can just skip that step and just say this to make it easier on ourselves. Okay. Now if you want to be really overly thorough, it's not wrong to do that. It's not really a bad idea, I guess. It's just more than you need to do, and we don't really want to do that. So let's go ahead and simplify one final step here. So this is 1/8 x to the 8th times the natural log of x minus, so 1/8 times 1/8 is 1/64th. Then we have x to the 8th, and then that plus c is still there. Okay. So there are other ways of expressing this answer. We could factor out like a 1/8 and an x to the 8th, but there's really no need to do that. Okay, but this would be the answer here. So that is the integral of x to the 7th times the natural log of x dx. So if you wanted to factor out 1/8 x to the 8th, or if you had to, then that would be easier if we started from here, I guess. So if we started from there, what would that be? We'll factor out a 1/8 x to the 8th, so 1/8 times x to the 8th, and then what's left over? Well, over here what's left over is natural log of x, what's left over here? Well, we pulled out a 1/8 x to the 8th, so the only thing left is a 1/8. Okay? And then outside, away from all that, we have plus c. Okay? So that's another way of expressing the answer. We really don't have to do it like that. But, well, in case you do have to do it like that, or if you just want to factor like that, then this would be the answer here. But anyway, like this or like this, that is the answer to example 3. Evaluate the integral of x to the 7th times the natural log of x dx. So that's example 3 with integration by parts.